Maybe I don't need to ask this, but it seems like maybe your worst moment as mayor is the converse of the success of the rehab of the Hoover facility into something productive is when the Hoover Company announced it was closing.
You're saying that that was the worst.
Worst, right.
Yeah, absolutely. When we heard that the Hoover Company was closing, that was financially, it was devastating to the city of North Canton, but emotionally, it was devastating to the entire community.
Did that come out of the blue, or were you prepared for it over a period of time?
We had expected that they were going to close. So right when I first started serving as mayor in 2005, what we did was assembled an advisory committee, and we took like 30 leaders, economic leaders from North Canton and also from the surrounding area, and we tried to decide how we were going to manage this situation with the Hoover Company leaving. And it was it really happened over a series of years. They started to downsize, and then they were sold, and then sold again. But they finally closed their doors in 2007, and they had allowed 800 union members to continue to be paid for the first 6 months of 2008, which was very good for those employees to allow them to transition into a new job, but it was also helpful to the city because we were able to collect that income tax. But the real brunt of the Hoover district was magnified when the economy took a downturn in 2009, 2010. Right. Yeah, the peak, actually the lowest point in the city financially was 2010. So to give you an example, back in the year 2000, our income tax collection was $7 million, just over $7 million. And then in 2010, it dropped to 5.4 million. Okay. And so that was a 23% reduction. Now the good news is 2010 was our worst time financially in the city. And what we did is we did not raise the income tax. And we had
still the lowest in Stark County, right?
Yes.
1.5%.
1.5%. Right. And we really felt that that was important to keep the income tax. Initially, I had turned in a proposal to council to increase the income tax. And I think it was, because I was new and I wasn't quite as secure in my leadership role as mayor, because I'm thinking we're losing 23%. That was a huge cut. And so we had submitted a proposal to City Council. Darryl Revolt was the council president at the time, and they said we're not going to be raising the income tax. We're going to have to make the cuts, and that was tough. So we had 116 full-time employees, and we reduced the number, and this was over a number of years. We reduced it down to 91 full-time employees, and then we took our fire and EMS department and we combined them in order to better optimize our fire and EMS service. We made a lot of different changes, and we coupled that with a performance audit. So the performance audit was really helpful. The state auditor came in and they did an audit on the majority of the departments in the city, and they told us how we can improve, how we can make it better, and they compared us to our peer cities. There was like 3 other peer cities of our similar size, and so that was an excellent tool to help us improve our operation.